Hello everyone, my name is Neerja Arora and I am working as an assistant professor in CSC department at Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College, Ghaziabad. Today I am going to discuss the topic that is iteration method, which comes under the subject design and analysis of algorithms having code KCS 503. Basically, iteration method is one of the way to solve the recurrence relations of the recursive programs. We will discuss it. So in today's video, I'm going to discuss these topics. First is analysis of algorithms on the basis of their running time. Then we will also cover the concept of recursion or recursive programs or recursive algorithms. Then we will also discuss about the recurrence relation, and at the last we will discuss I will cover the various methods to solve the recurrence relations. Basically we are having four methods. One is iteration method, second is the substitution method, then we have the Master's theorem, and another is the fourth one is the recurrence tree method. So in today's video I am going to discuss or focus on iteration method to solve the recurrence relation. So let's start it. So what is algorithm analysis? So before coming to the analysis of algorithm, first we know about the algorithm. So what is an algorithm? How we can define an algorithm? Suppose you are given a particular problem to solve, or you are given a some task to complete. So for completing that task or to solve the problem, you have to follow number of steps in a particular sequence. So when you will follow these steps or instructions in a given order or in a given sequence, then after finite amount of time your task will be completed or given problem will be solved. So basically algorithm is a set of or sequence of statements or steps or instructions, we can say. It is a sequence of instructions which we have to follow in a particular order or sequence, so that given task will be completed or given problem will be solved, and that should be completed in a finite amount of time. So analysis of algorithm, in what we do in analysis of algorithm, we analyze the algorithm. Suppose we are having two solutions or two algorithms for a particular problem, then you have to analyze which one is better. So there are two ways to compare them or analyze them. One is the space complexity, another is a calculating the running time or time complexity. So in this today video we will focus on calculating the time complexity of the algorithm. So algorithms can be designed in two ways. One is the iterative approach, another is a recursive approach. So in iterative approach, if we are using some function, then there is no self function calling, okay, but we can having a loops, for loop, while loop or do while loop. So those algorithms in which there is no self function calling, but we are having a loop, for loop, while loop or do while loop, or it can also happen that there is no self function calling as well as there is no any loop. So that comes under the iterative algorithms. Another is the recursive algorithms. In recursive algorithm, a function is calling itself again and again. So that is a concept of recursion. If in some program or in some algorithm, if we are having a function that is calling itself again and again, that is called as a recursive algorithm. So in order to analyze or calculating the running time for the iterative programs or iterative algorithm, we have to count the number of times a loop is going to get executed in that particular algorithm. That is, हमें count करना होगा कि how many times कि that loop is going to execute. So that total time is known as running time of that particular iterative program. But in case of for analyzing the recursive algorithm, we can use iteration method, recurrence tree method, Master's method or substitution method to calculate the running time. But in any case, if an algorithm does not contain either iteration or recursion, then it means there is no dependency of the running time on the input size. Whatever is the input size, running time is constant, that is big of 1. ओके तो किसी एल्गोरिथम में अगर आप लूप भी नहीं यूज कर रहे हैं, ना ही आप सेल्फ फंक्शन कॉलिंग यूज कर रहे हैं, तो इट मीन्स देयर इज नो डिपेंडेंसी ऑफ द रनिंग टाइम ऑन द इनपुट साइज. तो इन दैट particular algorithm the running time will be constant, that is big of 1. So what is recursion? To solve what basically the concept of recursion is that when we have to solve the bigger problem or large problem, then we divide or basically break down that large problem into smaller sub problems. Okay, so for example, we have to calculate a factorial of 6. So this is a non-recursive program, that is this is a iterative approach and this is a recursive approach. So in non-recursive approach we have to use a loop, okay, to calculate the factorial. So suppose if we have to calculate the factorial of n, that is suppose 6, then loop will be going from 1 to n and that is 6. And in this particular loop what we are doing, we have to calculate the result. We are using some variable result in which every time in every iteration initial value of result is suppose 1. So in every iteration we are multiplying the result variable into I. Okay, so in the first iteration I is 1 and result value is 1, so 1 cross 1 is 1, so the final output is stored in result. So again in the second iteration now I is 2, so in the second iteration previous value of result is 1 and I value of I is 2, so 1 cross 2 is 2, so result will be 2. So when this particular loop is completed, the final updated value of result is returned or printed to the screen, output screen. But in case of recursive program, we are not using a loop. What we do? We first define the base condition or terminate condition, that is the non-recursive term, and we are also using a recursion. In recursion, what we do? We are calling the same function fact but for the smaller input size. Okay, so every time what we are doing, we are calling the fact function but for the smaller input size and cross n. Okay, so factorial of 6 is equal to 6 into factorial of 5, and factorial of 5 can be replaced with 5 into factorial of 4, and factorial of 4 is further breakdown into 4 into factorial of 3, and factorial of 3 is further breakdown into 3 into factorial of 2, and so on. And at last factorial of 1 is 1, that is a base condition or terminate condition which we have already defined in this our program. And final sum, the sum result is 720. So this is how recursive program works. So in recursion we already know that when a function is calling another function or to itself, then the number of parameters will not change, the parameters name will not change, the code will not change, but parameters values will change. So to implement the recursive program, we have to use the stack data structure, because every time we have to store the result of the previous function. So the function factorial of 1 is 1, which is stored in a stack. Then when we have to calculate the factorial of 2, so factorial of 2 is calculated by multiplying the value 2 with factorial of 1. So we have already stored the result of factorial of 1 in our stack. So the factorial of 1, the value factorial of 1 is not recalculated, but its result will be taken from this particular stack. Okay. Similarly, if we have to calculate the factorial of 4, then how we are calculating? We are multiplying the value 4 with factorial of smaller input size, that is 3, and factorial of 3 is already stored in our stack. Okay. So we are not recalculating the factorial of 3, बल्कि हम क्या करेंगे, यहाँ पे जो प्रीवियस स्टेप में हमने फैक्टोरियल ऑफ 3 का कैलकुलेट किया है, उसका रिजल्ट हम डायरेक्टली यहाँ पे यूज कर रहे हैं. सो दैट्स व्हाई स्टैक डेटा स्ट्रक्चर इज यूज्ड फॉर द रिकर्सिव प्रोग्राम्स. So every recursive program should have the termination of base condition, otherwise it will get into a infinite loop, and at the end you will get a message that is stack overflow. So that's why termination condition is compulsory or mandatory in defining the recurrence relation. So this is another example of recursive program to multiply the two positive numbers m and n, where m and n are greater than 0. So this is a recursive algorithm for multiplying the two numbers m and n. First we have to define the initial condition or base condition, which is also known as stopping condition. This is non-recursive, okay, because यहाँ पे हम क्या कर रहे हैं, सिंपली बस डिफाइन कर रहे हैं, कंडीशन दे रहे हैं कि अगर आपके दोनों वैल्यूज जीरोस हैं, दोनों नंबर्स आपके जीरो हैं, देन यू हैव टू रिटर्न द वैल्यू जीरो, अदरवाइज you have to use the recursion. It means we are calling the same function multiply, but here we are passing smaller value of m, that is m minus 1, and n will remain same, and here we have to add the number n. So this recursion, this function will be self called again and again. कब तक हम इसको कॉल करेंगे, जब तक यहाँ पे आपको बेस कंडीशन ना रिसीव हो जाए, इट मीन्स यहाँ पे आपके जीरो ना रीच हो जाए, ठीक है, तब तक आपका ये फंक्शन कॉल होगा, आपका रिकर्जन प्रोसेस रिपीट होगा. सो हियर द टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी इज बिग ऑफ m and space complexity or stack complexity is m. It means we have to make a stack of m slots or m size. So this is a recursive recurrence relation of this particular recursive program, that is multiply of m and n will return 0 for m equal to 0 and n equal to 0, otherwise it will return n plus multiply of m minus 1 comma n. So basically this is an example. Here if we have to multiply two numbers, that is 4 and 7, so this multiplication operation can be converted into a summation of terms. Okay, so 4 into 7 means we have to add the value 7 4 times. Okay, so here multiply, if we have to we are using a function mul multiply 4 and 7. So how it can be replaced? It can be replaced with 7 plus multiply of smaller value of 4, that is 3 comma 7, and multiply of 3 and 7 can be replaced with 7 plus multiply of 2 comma 7, and multiply of 2 comma 7 can be replaced with 7 plus multiply of 1 comma 7, and again multiply of 1 comma 7 can be replaced with 7 plus multiply of 0 comma 7, and this is a base condition or terminate condition. Its result is already stored. If m equal to 0, then result will be 0. So multiply of 0 comma 7 is 0. So 7 plus 0, 7. 7 will be returned to the previous step, and so on. So this is how a recursive program works. This is also a recurrence program to find out the Fibonacci series. So all of us know that how the Fibonacci series is calculated. Fibonacci of 0 is 0. We already know if n equal to 0, then Fibonacci of n will be 0, and Fibonacci of 1 is also 1. So here we also define the base condition. If n equal to 1, then the result will be 1, and Fibonacci of 2 is calculated by adding the result of Fibonacci of 1 and Fibonacci of 0. So Fibonacci of 0 and Fibonacci of 1 is their result will be added. 0 plus 1 is 1. Similarly, Fibonacci of 3 can be calculated by adding the solution or result of Fibonacci of 2 and Fibonacci of 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2. So the recurrence relation can be recurrence term can be defined as Fibonacci of n is equal to Fibonacci of n minus 1 plus Fibonacci of n minus 2. So this is the recursive program of calculating the Fibonacci series. So basically, recurrence relation is an equation or inequality that describes a function in terms of its value on smaller inputs values. So this we have already discussed. So what will be the question arises is what will be the running time, actual running time of that particular recursive algorithm. So for finding the actual running time, we have to solve this recurrence relation. Okay, because in this particular recurrence relation we are having a non-recursive term and we are also having the recursive term. So we have to solve this recursive term to find out the actual running time, that is the explicit formula of the expression. So here we need to solve this recurrence to find the explicit formula of the expression, and which bounds the recurrence by an expression that involves n. Okay. So now the point is we have to solve this recurrence relation. So we are having 4 methods to solve the recurrence relation. One is iteration, then substitution, then master's method, and last is a recurrence tree method. So let's come to the first method, that is the iteration method. So what we do in iteration method, suppose we are given a recurrence relation Tn is equal to 1 for n equal to 1 and Tn is equal to T of n by 2 plus n for n greater than 1. So here the input size n is divided by 2 every time. So in iteration method, we first convert the given recurrence relation into a summation, and we do so by iterating the recurrence until the initial or base condition is reached. So for this particular recurrence relation, if we have to convert this recurrence into a summation, we have to break down the input size n into input size n by 2. It means Tn will be break down into T of n by 2, then T of n by 2 is further break down into T of n by 4, and T of n by 4 is further break down into T of n by 8, and so on until the base case T of 1 is reached. And this whole process will take k number of iterations or k number of times. So basically T1 denotes the time taken by the base case or initial condition. So T1 is the base condition. Base case means if n equal to 1, if the input size is 1, then the running time will be constant, that is 1. So when the base condition is reached, then we have to use the back substitution method to calculate the value of summation by moving from the last term to the top term. Last term is the base condition. So let us understand with an example. Suppose we are given a recurrence relation T of n is equal to 1 for n equal to 1 and Tn is equal to T of n minus 1 plus n if n is greater than 1. Suppose we are given this particular recurrence relation and we have to solve it or find out the explicit formula of the running time by using the iteration method. Suppose so in what we do, the recurrence equation is Tn equal to T of n minus 1 plus n, which is given. So what we do, we have to find out the or replace this term T of n minus 1. Okay, so T of n minus 1 can be written as, in the original equation, when we put n की जगह अगर आप n minus 1 put कर दें in every place of n, then what we will get? We will get T of n minus 1 can be written as T of, अगर यहाँ पे आप n की जगह n minus 1 लिख देंगे तो क्या आएगा? T of n minus 2 प्लस इस n की जगह आपका क्या आ जाएगा? n minus 1 and this n will be written as it is. Okay, again t of n minus 2 can be written as t of, अगर यहाँ पे आप n की जगह हर प्लेस पे अगर आप कर देते हैं, लाइक तो अगर आप यहाँ पे n को n माइनस 2 से रिप्लेस करें, देन दिस होल टर्म विल बी रिटन एज n माइनस 3, यू विल गेट एज t ऑफ n माइनस 3, प्लस इस n को भी आप n माइनस 2 से रिप्लेस करेंगे, t ऑफ n माइनस 2 प्लस n माइनस 1 ये एज इट इज, प्लस ये प्लस n एज इट इज. Again t of n minus 3 can be written as t of n minus 4 plus n minus 3, and this series same आप दोबारा से लिख देंगे n minus 2 plus n minus 1 plus n and so on. Suppose after k number of iterations, अगर आप इसको बार बार रिपीट करते रहेंगे, सो k नंबर ऑफ आइट्रेशंस के बाद हम एज्यूम करते हैं कि द प्रॉब्लम साइज विल बी रिड्यूस टू 1, क्योंकि आप हर बार यहाँ पे क्या कर रहे हैं, इनपुट साइज में से एक एक वैल्यू आप रिड्यूस कर रहे हैं. तो अगर आप करते जाएंगे तो एट द एंड आपको एक ऐसा सब प्रॉब्लम मिल जाएगा जिसका साइज क्या रहेगा, 1. सो आफ्टर k नंबर ऑफ आइट्रेशंस tn कैन बी रिटन एज t ऑफ n minus k plus n minus k minus 1, we can write it as and n minus 2 को हम कैसे लिख सकते हैं, n minus k minus 2 plus n minus 1 को हम लिखेंगे n minus k minus 1 plus n minus plus इसको आप n ही लिख दीजिए. ओके, सो नाउ वी आर एज्यूमिंग दैट द सब प्रॉब्लम साइज विल बी 1 आफ्टर पुटिंग n minus k equal to 1. So now after putting n minus k equal to 1, the sub problem size will be 1. तो अगर आप n माइनस के को 1 के इक्वल पुट करते हैं तो सब प्रॉब्लम साइज t आपका क्या हो जाएगा, 1. सो n माइनस के को अगर आप 1 पुट कर रहे हैं तो यहाँ से आप k की वैल्यू कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं, k विल बी n माइनस 1. सो आप यहाँ पे n माइनस के को 1 पुट कर दीजिए, तो tn विल बी इक्वल टू t ऑफ 1 प्लस n माइनस k, अभी हमने ऑलरेडी यहाँ पे प्रीवियस स्टेप में कैलकुलेट किया n माइनस 1, तो k की वैल्यू आप क्या कर दीजिए, इस इक्वेशन में पुट कर दीजिए. तो यहाँ पे अगर आप k को n माइनस 1 लिखेंगे तो ये आपका हो जाएगा n प्लस 2, ठीक है. एंड यहाँ पर अगर k को n माइनस 1 लिखेंगे तो ये होगा आपका n प्लस 3, सिमिलरली n प्लस 4 up to n. So t of 1 is already given कि for n equal to 1 t of 1 will be 1 प्लस यहाँ से n कैंसिल होगा आपका 2 इधर, सॉरी इधर होगा आपका n माइनस n प्लस 3, n माइनस n प्लस 3, और यहाँ था आपका n माइनस n प्लस 4. तो n यहाँ पे कैंसिल होंगे तो यहाँ होगा आपका प्लस 3 प्लस 4 अप टू n, and this is a series and it can be written as n into n plus 1 by 2, and it is equal to n square plus n by 2. Now we can ignore the lowest order of n term and the constant 2. So after ignoring n and 2, this result will be equivalent to asymptotic notation big O of n square. Okay, so the result of this particular recurrence relation is running time will be big O of n square for this particular recurrence relation. Okay, So now discuss one more example. Now suppose another recurrence relation given is Tn is equal to 1 if n equal to 1 and Tn is equal to T of n by 2 plus constant C if n is greater than 1. So how it can be solved? By using the iteration method. So the recurrence equation given is Tn is equal to T of n by 2 plus C. So T of n by 2 can be written as, अगर आप इस ओरिजिनल इक्वेशन में Tn इक्वल टू टी ऑफ एन बाई टू प्लस सी आपको गिवन था, Tn इक्वल टू टी ऑफ एन बाई टू प्लस सी आपको गिवन है, तो यहां से अगर आपको टी ऑफ एन बाई टू कैलकुलेट करना है तो आप n को रिप्लेस कर देंगे n बाई टू से. तो टी ऑफ एन बाई टू इज इक्वल टू टी ऑफ एन बाई फोर प्लस सी. सिमिलरली टी ऑफ एन बाई फोर अगर आपको कैलकुलेट करना है तो आप n को किससे रिप्लेस कर दीजिए, यहाँ पर टी ऑफ एन बाई फोर आपको कैलकुलेट करना है तो हर जगह यहाँ पे आप डिवाइड बाई टू कर दीजिए, तो यहाँ पे हो जाएगा आपका टी ऑफ एन बाई एट प्लस सी. तो सिमिलरली टी ऑफ एन बाई टू कैन बी रिप्लेस्ड विद टी ऑफ एन बाई फोर प्लस सी एंड दिस प्लस सी इज ऑलरेडी अवेलेबल, सो हम इसको एज इट इज लिख देंगे. अगेन टी ऑफ एन बाई फोर को आप रिप्लेस करेंगे किससे, टी ऑफ एन बाई एट प्लस सी, ठीक है, एंड दिस सी कम्स एज इट इज एंड दिस सी कम्स एज इट इज, and this process will repeat k number of times and we assume that after k number of iterations sub problem size will be 1. ठीक है, कि k नंबर ऑफ आइट्रेशंस के बाद जब हम इसको बार बार डिवाइड कर रहे हैं, अपने इनपुट साइज n को आप बार बार 2 से डिवाइड किए जा रहे हैं, तो k नंबर ऑफ स्टेप्स के बाद आपका सब प्रॉब्लम साइज 1 हो जाएगा. सो इट कैन बी रिटन एज Tn इज इक्वल टू T ऑफ n बाय, हम इसको 8 को कैसे रिप्रेजेंट कर सकते हैं इन टर्म्स ऑफ k, 2 रेज टू पावर k where the value of k is 3 and k की वैल्यू हम यहाँ पे क्या एज्यूम करके चल रहे हैं 3, एंड जो आपका प्लस c भी है यहाँ पे c प्लस c t ऑफ n बाई 2k, ये भी आपका क्या है 3c. ओके, 3 टाइम्स आपका c कर हो रहा है, तो आप 3 को भी यहाँ पे k से रिप्लेस कर सकते हैं, दैट इज t ऑफ n बाई 2k प्लस kc where k is equal to 3. Now put n by 2 की पावर k को आप 1 के इक्वल पुट कर देंगे, एंड आफ्टर टेकिंग log on both side, log of n by 2 raised to power k, सॉरी इससे पहले आप क्या कर लीजिए, दोनों को क्रॉस मल्टीप्लाई कर लीजिए, तो यहां से आपका n आपका इक्वल हो जाएगा 2 रेज टू पावर k. नाउ टेकिंग log ऑन बोथ साइड, log ऑफ n विल बी इक्वल टू k ऑफ log 2 एंड हेयर बेस इज 2. बेस 2 क्यों ले रहे हैं, क्योंकि एवरी टाइम आप इनपुट साइज n को 2 से डिवाइड किए जा रहे हैं, तो इसलिए हम log का बेस क्या लेंगे 2. अगर आप बाय 3 से डिवाइड करते हैं एवरी टाइम, देन बेस क्या लेंगे हम log का 3. So here we will put the base value is 2 because every time आप input size n को 2 से divide कर रहे हैं, तो log 2 base 2 will be 1. So finally the value of k will be log n base 2. Now put this value of n in value of k in this particular equation. अगर आप k की वैल्यू इस इक्वेशन में पुट करेंगे k की वैल्यू आप इस इक्वेशन में पुट करेंगे तो Tn आपका हो जाएगा इज इक्वल टू T ऑफ n बाय 2 रेज टू पावर log n, सॉरी n बाय 2 रेज टू पावर k, तो ऑलरेडी हम 1 के इक्वल एज्यूम कर चुके हैं, तो n बाय 2 रेज टू पावर k तो आपका 1 होगा, है ना, t ऑफ 1 प्लस के सी, के की वैल्यू आप ऑलरेडी कैलकुलेट कर चुके हैं, log n बेस 2 इंटू सी, so and t of 1 is already given, that is 1, 1 plus c of log n base 2, so here the constant 1 can be ignored and this coefficient c can be ignored, the final complexity will be or running time will be big of log n base 2. So this is the final result of this recurrence relation, that is big of log n base 2. So this is how iteration methods work. Thank you.